and welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
And I am Stacey Earlywine, coming to you from a glorious summer day.
Yes, a beautiful day here in Illinois.
That's right, Clay County.
Yes, we are having a great day, and we are going to have a fun episode.
Always fun. Couple prominent citizens in Flora town.
Yes, there's a couple of guys that seem to be in all of the articles we were looking at. Their names kept popping up. Their business was being talked about a lot. So we thought, you know what? Let's talk about these guys on the show.
Let's just do it. It's kind of fun. And it is interesting how everybody's just kind of like, because the two guys that we have today were actually businessmen, and one sold one business to the other one. I'm like thinking, well, when I picked out the one to do, it's like, well, wait a minute. He just did something with the other guys, so let's just do them both today.
Right, might as well.
Recognizable names in Flora.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
These names, So
how's your summer going?
Good, busy. It's flying by. I mean, like May just flew by like in the blink of an eye because every week I had something going, and then June is kind of doing the same thing. I mean, is your summer like that?
Oh, yeah. Life is like that. You know what's scary, though, is like even kids today will be like, man, time goes by fast.
Yeah, if the kids think it's going by fast. So, whew.
But summer always does because, like, the next thing you know, I don't even know what the date is. It's somewhere the middle.
We're in June
late
right now.
Middle,
this is
June.
being filmed in June. But, like, okay, so my opinion is that the fastest month of the whole year is November. I think November goes by faster than any other month.
Do you really?
That's my number one fast month. My number two is May.
Yeah.
And the reason November does is because it's kind of like the build up to the holidays, and you're getting so excited. But then Thanksgiving's usually on around the 24th or something. Yeah. And then that almost feels like the last day of November, even though you really have a whole other week. It feels like the last because as soon as Thanksgiving is over, it's boom, it's like Christmas. You're in the Christmas season. Then it starts to feel more like December, even though it's still November. So I just feel like November goes by so fast.
Well, May definitely. May is a crazy time for everybody, and I think October goes by too fast.
Yeah.
I love October. I'd say out of all 12, October's my favorite.
Yeah, November is my favorite month, and maybe that's why I think it goes by so fast, is because I'm sad when it's over. Yeah. But I love October, too.
Well, we know your favorite holiday is Christmas.
It is my favorite holiday, but November is my favorite month because even though I love Christmas so much.
But it's almost over when Christmas gets there.
Yes, I like the build up to it better than the actual day.
Now, are you a Black Friday shopper?
Yes.
Are you a fighter?
I probably could be. Don't provoke me.
Don't you dare try to take my Cabbage Patch.
I have never gotten in a fight on Black Friday.
Oh, gosh.
I have seen a few, but no.
I'll never forget. My mother was a terrible Black Friday. Her and my Aunt Barb, they were Black Friday shoppers. And my mom would throw down for whatever we wanted. And of course, I've told everybody the horrible story of JCPenney blowing up with Oliver and Olivia. Octopus in there, but Jim and I were thinking about my grandson Jack's like into wrestling. He's 4 now.
Oh,
so like he's always wrestling, and I'm like, my goodness, we're not a wrestling buddy. And Mac said, "Oh, guys, Mom, do you remember them wrestling buddies?" And they were
they still make those.
Oh, Mac
and they're in the little ring, and they're
no, that's boxing. Sock'em robots.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
These were actually like dolls, but they were like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yes.
And then when you'd hit them, they'd go like power. They make sounds.
Yes.
Well, I'm a mad decorator the day after Christmas. I want to get it all done from start to finish that day.
You mean the day after Thanksgiving?
I'm sorry, the day after Thanksgiving. Okay. Yes. And so anyway, I'm like, Jim, oh my gosh, you got to go out to Walmart and get those wrestling buddies. That's what the boys want for Christmas. Go get them. And he just went to Florida. About an hour and a half later, he came back and basically threw those. Here's your buddies. And he says, that was Hades, but he didn't use the word Hades. He said one lady tried to grab him out of his bag and out of his thing, and another lady rammed his heels with a cart. And he was don't you ever ask me to go Black Friday shopping again. Yeah. So,
but, the online stuff has made it so easy. Like, I Black Friday shop, but I don't know that I did this year. I think I did it all online.
Really? Well, back, we're talking the 90s. I don't think there was much online shopping going on.
Right.
You had to fight it out. You had to duke it out. I would say the biggest craze, I would say Cabbage Patch. I think I can remember in history, the biggest Christmas craze for toys would have to be Cabbage Patch.
I don't know. I think that whole Tickle Me Elmo thing was a pretty big deal too.
Oh no, I don't know. Not like Cabbage Patch, man. Oh, them Cabbage Patch
yeah,
were
you're right.
crazy.
I mean, it was crazy.
Tickle Me Elmo was okay, but oh boy.
I know, but there was people like fighting to the death on the Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
Like they were showing fist fights in the stores, which I know that happened
Yeah.
on the Cabbage Patch too. But
Cabbage Patch
like, don't
was
go
a
that
nightmare.
crazy with it. I mean, I'm sure you
It's
can
a toy.
still.
And it's like
it's
I
a
said,
toy.
my husband's heels got run over, and I don't even know where those dolls are at now. But yeah, Cabbage Patch. I mean, there was. I remember it being on the news where like all malls across America, people were breaking into people's cars.
Yeah.
Stealing them, and it was a nightmare. So if you can think of another toy craze that was crazier than the Cabbage Patch, call us at.
Yeah, well, you can send us an email. Send us an email at bytheway@bethandstacey@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is By the Way with Beth and Stacey. And we're also on YouTube. If you're not already watching us there, our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey.
There you go. And it's not even July. We're supposed to save all of our Christmas stuff in July.
Yeah, we got to talk about. We're gonna have a Christmas in July episode.
We are.
We have to. I'm making it, and I will. We'll find some Christmas story, and I'll hang up a Christmas quilt.
Where did that come at? Christmas in July. Where did that come from?
Probably somebody like me that just can't wait. Decided once a year is not enough.
I think didn't you put something out, or he put something on
did.
Facebook and was like, "Here you go, Beth Cooper."
Yeah, no, I posted something. I think I posted like a picture of a Christmas tree, just randomly on my face. I like to decorate my own personal Facebook page with Christmas pictures, and Jim does not appreciate it at all. And in fact, he made some comment about people like you.
I think he did.
People like you are why you get unfriended, or something about unfriending me on Facebook because of the Christmas stuff. I'm like, Jim, the next time I post a Christmas picture, I'm not only going to post it, I will tag you in it.
You tag Jim really right in it.
No, I haven't done that. What do we got today?
Well, I found this book that I have never heard of.
Oh.
Okay, so Don Thomas is a big friend of By the Way with Beth and Stacey, and he's always cleaning stuff out and bringing me stuff. And this is the Journal of Lifetime Living. It's just a little book. It's March 1959, and it was 35 cents.
Oh.
Ty, can you zoom in on this? Look at this. Has anybody ever seen this?
Lifetime Living, how to get a good credit rating.
Yeah.
A new way to retire and keep earning. Are you headed for an ulcer? Ooh. 5 ways to popularity for single women. There's money for you in vacant land. Should your teenager have a car? And now's the time to shop for summer cruises. Ooh, people did cruises in 1959?
I guess, but have you ever heard of this Journal of Lifetime Living?
No, it sounds like a Reader's Digest.
It is. It's kind of fascinating. There are a lot. I loved Reader's Digest.
Oh, yes. I only read it for
the big one.
I loved the articles, but I really loved the jokes.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. That's fun. Well, like 5 ways to popularity for single women, like you just said.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it kind of is a lot of just fun. Are you headed for an ulcer?
Yeah, tell me, am I?
If you're Jim freaking out about Christmas, it's like you are.
Jim needs to relax about Christmas.
So I think you're right. It is kind of
he's headed for an ulcer if
he
doesn't.
is headed for an ulcer. Sound waves may save that tooth. I don't know, just some weird stuff. Okay. So I picked out, there are ads in it.
Okay.
Not very many. So Ty, which one did we pick out for this show first? Look at this. Vitamins. Vitamins ad. There's a lot to this ad. And we are talking, what year did I say?
59.
59. Save $5.50, which I thought that was kind of a high price.
I think so too.
Save $5.50 per 100 capsules. The most phenomenal vitamin value in the U.S. They're called All-Vite. High-potency vitamin and mineral formula. I mean, this thing's got like 43 nutritional factors in it. And it was made in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Vitamin Sales Company, America's Great Vitamin Value House. So you get 100 for only $2.75. I don't even know how much they are now.
Yeah, so, or all of it says in a single capsule, you got all of those vitamins in one. And I have a feeling back then, I guess maybe it could have went either way, but I have a feeling that the vitamins were more pure back then. Now I worry about additional additives and preservatives. Back then they probably didn't have that. Probably was really a good vitamin.
Yeah, vitamins make me nervous.
Yeah, they make me a little nervous too because I've read reports about some of the brands that are sold at Walmart. I won't say which ones, but a lot of controversy about they're made in China and what's really in them.
Yeah,
and
I don't
blah,
know.
blah.
There's just some, and they're all order online. You didn't buy. You had to order. This was like an online. You had to do it. Now you don't have to pay the usual $8.25 or more per 100. You say $5.50, so you're getting 100 tablets for $2.75. But yeah, I don't know. Vitamins sometimes vitamins make me jittery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you ever done that? But I never take medicine right. Never.
Oh.
I have a thyroid problem, hypothyroid. Take it same time every day. I might take one at 9. I might take, forgot it, pop it at 1.
Right.
2 days later, pop a couple.
Yeah.
My provider's going to kill me right now.
You're not a very good patient.
I'm a terrible patient.
Hopefully your doctor is not watching.
Yeah, they should be. I have 2.
Oh.
They should be at work.
Okay, if they are watching later on YouTube, she was just teasing. She didn't mean that.
They know me. They know I'm a terrible person. Speaking of, like, when you go to the doctor, this is funny. So, like, when you go to the doctor, do you strip down before you get weighed?
Yeah, I lay my purse down, my jacket, I take my shoes off. If there's anything heavy in my pockets, I take that out.
Yeah, me too, because I think every little
bit
I
helps.
do too. I'm almost down to my skivvies.
No, no. One day I didn't. One day I didn't because I really did feel bad, and I was just like, just weigh me. And it was a lot higher than normal, and I was like, that's not right. It's all. I didn't take my phone out of my pocket. And they're probably like, yeah, like her phone weighs 5 pounds.
Excuse me, these earrings are quite heavy. That's the extra 5 pounds you're noticing. That's so funny.
I'm sure they hear that all day long.
Yeah, they don't even talk about weight anymore.
No, they still weigh you every time.
They weigh you, but they don't say anything. I bet they can't tell people they're fat anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably get sued.
I went in there the other day just because I hurt my foot. I needed a foot x-ray. I still got weighed. I'm like, my weight has nothing to do with my foot. Let's not talk about it.
If I'm going in for a strep culture, I remember the heaviest whenever I was having my kids or whatever, and like they put these new scales in. It wasn't like the little scale. It was like something you'd weigh like a tank on.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that where we're at now? And I looked at Dr. Hatton, and he was just laughing at me. And I said, I hope this, when I step on this, it doesn't say 1 at a time, please. I'm going to be so mad. But anyway, boy, we can waste more time.
We can. We haven't even gotten to our show yet, but it's time for a commercial break.
We are headed to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
And I am Stacey, and I'm going to talk to you guys, Beth and I are, about a gentleman named T.J. Friend.
We are Thomas Jefferson Friend.
Oh,
I love it when people name their kids after presidents.
I was just getting ready to ask you.
I think that's awesome.
If you knew what his...
Thomas Jefferson Friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Friend is the name that, we still hear
friend.
around.
So Friend. I mean,
like hello,
friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I found this. So I like to do prominent people. Oh, and I was going to tell you, I ended up, in all my technically savviness, I came across a whole genealogical thing on Clay City the other day.
Oh, really?
I don't know how it happened. I hope I can find it again.
Oh, good.
But we'll write that down. But anyway, that's
Okay.
just a little side note. We're not leaving everybody else out. We have some
Okay.
other things. But anyway, I like to do citizens because I don't want people who shaped our town to ever be forgotten.
That's right.
I want to keep them, just like I said, it's because important. Without these people, we probably wouldn't be here. But I love whoever wrote this article. Listen to this, if I can read it correctly here. Divinity of human aim, thought, action, and character is so emphasized, even in a single community, that it is no wonder that the sage remarked that man's greatest study is man. I mean, these people that write some of these things we find are so beautiful.
Yeah, they had a different way of writing back then, a different way
truly
of speaking.
Did.
Their English was just slightly better.
Yeah. Listen to this. The infinite variety in all of nature's works, forbidden that two pebbles or mountain, leaves or plants, clouds or rainbows shall be exactly alike, is just as surely maintained in humankind, and men are not alike. With seemingly equal chances in life, one is ever contented with what is given, and the other is never contented with present attainment, but is always putting forth his best energy to attain better things.
Okay, and they're writing all of this about T.J. Friend?
They're writing all this about T.J. Friend.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Someone thought a lot of him. It's almost like an essay or a...
Yeah, it's like a beautiful poem to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like all the people that we come across that we talk about, I mean, they literally most of them come from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And do. Mm-hmm. Mr. T.J. Friend, quiet, diffident. What does that mean? Diffident. Diffident. Almost to bashfulness. So are we talking shyness?
I would think like a little shy and different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Would never have singled him out as a leader in any great enterprise which depended for its success upon the independent action of a leading man. Yet, such is exactly the case with the subject of our sketch.
So, he was kind of a quiet, unassuming guy that no one expected to be a great leader. Yet, here he was doing his thing right here in Flora.
Yeah.
So, then go on.
His father was a merchant in Xenia, and he was born in Xenia, Illinois, August 15th, and we're talking 1861.
Yeah, he was born, August 15th, 1861, and he lived until January the 7th of 1938.
1938.
Okay, so that's the time period we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He's buried in Elmwood Cemetery at Flora. So
when you couldn't find a picture of him?
No, I could. I searched for a picture of this man, even though we found his name a lot in a lot of things. I never found a picture. And when I researched his obituary and all that, there was also no picture.
He attended public school and received educational benefits as there were able to confer upon him. At the age of 16, he left school. Okay.
That was common.
16 is actually kind of old to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he made it a lot further than most of his peers, probably. Yeah, especially in Clay County.
He left school to assist his father in the store. And with the spirit of a true young American independent, he left the store after a time to work upon a farm.
Seems also common. They all left to go work on the farm.
I love this, where he could count his money at the end of every month.
Oh.
So I guess so Dad was a merchant, and merchants did real well. But, you got so much coming in and going out. He's like, forget this. I'm tired of not knowing what's daily. I'm going to go work on a farm where I know exactly what I've got coming in.
Okay.
Wow. His wages were $9 a month. And
at the farm?
At the farm. $9.
That actually does sound really good for that time period.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's 16, so 61, 71. So what is it, 1877? We're talking here? Yeah.
So, yeah, 77.
77.
Mm-hmm.
So then he goes to work on a farm, and he's going to make $9 a month. He felt sure he was on the road to financial success. He was right. For any young person to earn money and take care of it when earned will soon become full-handed and independent. Huge statement today. For any young person who can earn money, take care of it when it's earned, will soon become full-handed and independent.
Yeah.
So he worked on this till he was 20 years old.
Okay.
So he worked on the farm
For 4 years.
for 4 years. He also decided, I'm going to try another one. So what else, if you're not going to be a merchant, a farmer, what else do you think you'd try in this town? How about the railroad? So he was a brakeman on the railroad. And by steady habits and faithful service, he worked his way up till he was made conductor.
Ooh, fancy.
So now he's the conductor on
Cool.
the railroad.
Good for him.
Right? They're
Yeah.
just workers. In 1889, he quit the road and bought out the railroad restaurant, which then stood just east of the station house in Flora.
Okay.
So we have not done an episode on the depot, but the depot that you see there is not the original building. Beth,
Right.
would you like to elaborate on that for me, please?
So the depot that you see today was built in 1917. Prior to that, there was another depot building that was there, and prior to that, there was just like a little station house, I think. And even prior to that, they just dropped stuff off at the side of the railroad and just left bags sitting along the tracks. But so this was the station house at that time. So
Yeah.
I think there was just a small building there.
Yeah, and there was a restaurant.
But there next to it was a restaurant called what was it called? The station restaurant?
The railroad restaurant.
Railroad restaurant. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
No fancy name, just railroad restaurant.
So then he bought out, so he owns the railroad restaurant. He did that for 2 years.
Okay.
Then he opened up a grocery store. His grocery store was on West North Avenue. And he did that for 6 months.
This guy, I mean, no wonder we're seeing his name all over because he kind of jumped around a little bit.
Sure
I
did.
mean, he was a little bit wishy-washy. I mean, pick a career. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So at this time, so he owns the railroad, and now he's
Railroad restaurant.
railroad restaurant, and now he's got them both going at the same time. I'm sorry. So then he owns
okay.
the railroad restaurant. Then he opened up a grocery store. So this guy's got 2 businesses going.
Okay.
And he did this for 6 months. Then probably figured out it was a little bit too much. Then he sold the restaurant to Mr. J.A. Mann.
Okay.
So then he sells the railroad restaurant to Mann, but continued the grocery business.
Okay, I wonder if his grocery store at West North Avenue, there was 2 there. One was a Kroger, one was an A&P. I wonder
I'm
if
thinking I got to get this side, yeah.
I wonder if either of those were
Have we done the
his-
Massey's 20? So we're talking 61, 71, 81. So we're talking like 81, 82, 83.
Yeah, the 1880s.
1880s.
Both Kroger and A&P were there in the 1880s, I think.
Kroger's
I'd have to
been-
go back to that grocery
I wish
episode.
we still had a Kroger.
Oh, I love Kroger. It is my favorite store.
I know you love Kroger.
I mean, there are some people that you might say, what's your favorite store? And they might say, I don't know, Dillard's, or I love, what other stores do people love? That new convenience store along the interstate, like those Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's?
I love Buc-ee's. No, mine is Kroger.
Yeah.
I love Kroger, man. They have great sales.
Yeah.
They do. You can get groceries
And we had
there.
a Kroger in Flora.
You can get groceries there for cheaper than at Walmart if you use their coupons.
And
Anyway, go
okay,
ahead.
so now we sold the restaurant to Mann, and now we're going to continue on with our grocery business. In 1898, in the face of much discouragement, he began to erect a system. This is interesting. A system of telephone services all over the city.
Ooh.
So this T.J. Friend is the first person to bring the telephone into Flora.
Cool.
In the city. After much soliciting, he could secure but 22 subscribers, but that made no difference, for he banked the rest on pluck.
Pluck. I love that word. That's a word you don't see very much anymore.
No, but I wanna
people
bring it
back
back.
then were plucky. We're going to bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring back. No difference. He banked the rest on pluck and went right ahead with the enterprise. So
He did it anyway.
He had pluck
Yeah.
about him, because he's like, I don't have everybody, but by cracky, I'm going on with it. So he started the phone.
It makes me think of that song. I think it's from a musical. I Did It My Way. Or is it Barbara Streisand? I did it.
I did it my way. Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay. There
Elvis did it too. He did the big. Elvis.
Yeah.
Love Elvis. Love.
Okay,
So he placed the telephone central office in the rear end of his store where it remained. Now,
his grocery store.
So
in the back of his grocery store on West North Avenue was the first telephone office.
Yeah.
Now, did they have little operators in there going, just one moment?
I sure hope so.
Just one moment. And then listening in
to
every phone
we
call.
We have to. I can't wait to do the phone. We are going to do one because remember we found that one picture of that phone operator from back whenever. Phone operators will be super cool. That's going to be, we're going to write down more episodes. So, Mr. Friend says that after a long fight and hard won, his business prospects are exceedingly good. Indeed, splendid.
Ooh, splendid, darling. Splendid.
And then here's the he has been a member of the Board of Education, the City of Flora, also the City Council, Building and Loan Association, and of the Building Committee, which erected the new Baptist Church. He is in earnest in the matter of city waterworks and favors going to Raccoon River for the supply of water. Mr. Friend has a great faith in the future of Flora and says that the city is bound to double in population in less than 5 years. Without question, he stands among the most enterprising businessmen of this city. Bravo, TJ Friend.
I don't want to call him TJ. I want to call him his full name, Thomas Jefferson Friend. Yes. Yeah, good
I
for
got
him.
goosebumps thinking about TJ Friend.
I know Thomas Jefferson Friend. Yeah.
Beth, real quick before we go to commercial break, let them know what home he lived in Flora.
Oh, okay. Yes. So he lived in a large home, and I think that he's the one that built it, but I haven't researched this home completely. That's a future episode. But it's on West 4th Street. It is a large white colonial home, and Dr. Chung and his wife live there currently. So it's probably it would be the 100 block of, I might have said west, 100 block of East 4th, kind of back behind the Methodist Church.
Right, literally, it's right next to the Methodist parking lot.
Yes.
The First United Methodist Church parking lot.
Large, beautiful home. So we will dig into that in another episode.
That's going to be, because we got housing episodes coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm in love with Thomas Jefferson Friend, and he died in 1938. Beth, quick math. How old was he? 60, 40?
He was 76.
76.
Yeah.
76 he was. I would love to see a picture of him.
Oh, yeah. And when we come back, I got some information on his wife, too, to share.
Yes.
So sometimes the wives get overshadowed, you know?
We do. Well, because these men...
He did a lot.
He did a lot, but, behind every good man...
is a better woman.
Is a better woman. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with his wife.
Okay.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend, and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting, and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Exactly.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about some prominent men in the history of Flora. We just got done talking about Mr. Thomas Jefferson Friend, who brought the telephone to Flora and ran a great restaurant and a grocery store and had a million other jobs. But we didn't talk a whole lot about his wife.
Let's talk about his wife.
Let's mention that he had a wonderful wife, and in all of the information about her, even her obituary, and this was so common for the time, so it's not her fault, but everyone just called her Mrs. T.J. Friend.
Right.
Mrs. T.J. Friend. And I just want you to know that her name was Libby. Her name was Libby. What a beautiful name.
Libby Friend.
Libby D. Friend. And she, as you can imagine, was also super involved in the community.
I would imagine
so
she did. If this man ran 2 businesses, I bet she was running one of them.
Yeah, well, she did all kinds of things. She was well known all over the county because of her activity in social and civil organizations. She was president of the County Tuberculosis Association. So, first of all, I didn't even know that was a thing. But we did the episode on causes of death, and tuberculosis was a big one.
Wow.
And what was my numbers on that? Like 1 in 7 people died of tuberculosis. Okay, she was the past president of the Flora Women's Club.
Ooh.
And an active and tireless worker in the Baptist Church.
They went to the Baptist Church?
And the Order of the Eastern Star, which is the organization for the Masons, for the women in the Masons. And it also says she held other important offices in various organizations. So she was also kind of had her place all over town. She was involved in a lot of things. So what happened, though, is that she, this is taken from her obituary, she was planning, she was the main planner for this benefit ball game. It was for the benefit of the Tuberculosis Association that she was president of. So she was working diligently for several days, planning this ball game that was supposed to be their big fundraiser for the year. And right in the middle of that, she died.
Really?
And I don't know if it was stress, anxiety, overwork. I don't know, what happened, but they ended up burying her on the same day, the same afternoon as the ball game.
Really?
So, it said she just died suddenly in her home. Death. Oh, it does say death being attributed to heart trouble. So
she probably had a heart attack?
Yeah. So she just worked herself into this frenzy, I think, and had a heart attack and died. But they did have 3 daughters.
Oh, wow.
Their names were Mrs. Shell Fagan, Mrs. Mary Baugh Caldwell, and Miss Zoe Friend of Chicago, and one son, Harland of Texas. So they had 3 girls and a boy.
3 girls and a boy.
And then she had a brother in Gary, Indiana. But they had her funeral at the Baptist Church here in town, and she was buried in Elmwood.
How old was she, Beth? Does it say?
It doesn't say, and
I
can look that up here in a minute. I didn't have that written down. I had his date of death written down, but I did not have hers.
What a shame. So I would say if she. Well, I mean, a lot of older people still do it. It'd be interesting to know.
She died in 34.
She died in 34.
I don't know when she was
born.
Well,
he died in 38. So
yeah.
What a shame. See, no pictures came up of her. Miss Libby.
Nope, but I'm hoping that when I dig into the history of the home and maybe go to the owners of the home, maybe they'll know something about the history. Maybe we can find some pictures of the Friend family.
Right. Oh, I bet we can. I bet we can find some.
Yeah,
it's a pretty, like I said, it kind of pops up everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, for sure. So what's the other guy we're going to talk about today?
The other guy we are going to talk about, J.A. Mann.
Okay, Mr. Mann.
Mr. Mann.
Okay.
Now, do you know what his initials stand for? Because I do not.
What is it? I had
James Alexander.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's James, but I don't. I'll look. I didn't have that on my notes.
I think it's James Mann.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know what the A stands for. And remember when we did that one history, and it was like all initials. Everything was initials.
Yes.
So maybe I should start going by SL early Y.
I had that on.
Slee.
on my notes on my phone. So.
What would you? Wait a minute. Your name's not. You be DB.
I am DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
That is a whole other little side note that we can go into because my name is Danielle Beth Cooper.
Yeah.
So I go by my middle name. My first name is Danielle. Not a lot of people know that. I do answer to it if you call me Danielle because my teachers in college and doctor's appointments, insurance, all of that, they all call me Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Do answer to it, but that does make me DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, that weren't alive in the 70s, DB Cooper is a famous hijacker. He hijacked a plane. He then jumped out of the plane with $200,000, and no one ever heard from him again or saw him, and nothing. And there's debate about whether or not he died in the attempt or if he lived.
Holy moly!
It is a whole conspiracy theory if you dig into it, because there are at least like 3 or 4 men that confess, like deathbed confessions, that they were
him.
They were him, and they can't all be him, obviously. But if you start reading some of these. Like, there's one guy that I'm just certain was him. Like, he lived, and he was military. He was trained to jump out of planes. He actually taught people how to jump out of planes in difficult conditions.
Yeah.
He was familiar with the area where he jumped. Like, all of these things all added up, and this is a whole little sidebar.
You don't just jump out of a plane with $200,000 on your back and Interesting.
Yeah, it's a totally interesting story.
And
I get a lot of jokes
originate
about. It happened in near Seattle, like out in it was either Oregon or Washington State.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So you would go by DB Cooper? Would you whop it and go BD Cooper?
No, I'll totally go by DB Cooper. I like the little play on that. You know, like I'm DB Cooper.
Well, Mike's
very
boring.
few people get it. You're boring.
SL Early Wine.
Yeah.
Mike sounds like a ship.
Yeah.
The SL Early Wine. It does, doesn't it?
Well, yes, it does, actually.
Yeah.
That's funny. I wouldn't have thought of it until you said it.
No, it does. It sounds like the S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so funny. Mm-hmm. Oh, before we go into this next guy, should we tell them a little bit about what we did? A couple little ladies in town we visited, just since we're talking about funny things.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Okay.
We had an interesting. Well, like I said, like when Beth and I were saying that we might knock on your door to go through your house. Now we might knock on your door and want to interview if you're over 85.
Yeah, if you have a lot of memories of the way things used to be, we would like to talk to you.
Yeah.
So sometimes we just call up people and we say, can we sit down and visit with you and ask you questions about the past? Mm-hmm. And we've had a great response to that. Mm-hmm. And 2 of the ladies that we met with this week were fantastic. One, and some of you may know them. They are twins, Margaret Duke and Margie Yingst. And we had such a great visit, and they were so full of information on the history of Flora that can be its very own episode. I have pages and pages of notes.
I think when we do that, let's just do an episode of our conversation with them. They were adorable.
They are adorable. They are hilarious. They're 97 years old.
They're 97. And they're, gosh, you know what they're kind of like?
What? Us.
They interrupted each other and finished each other's sentences.
They sure did. They interrupted. We jumped all over the place. We were like, we talked about this, and then we jumped over to this, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I still had questions about this. We went back and forth.
That was literally.
Oh, it was
I enjoyed
lovely.
that. We were there about an hour and a half.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the best hour and a halfs I've had in a long time.
You know, you can learn. Learn so much from that generation.
Yeah,
so much information.
And what I loved about it, Beth, was the emotions they had when they talked about different things.
Yes.
When they talked about their husbands, emotions would change. When they talk about prohibition, emotions would change.
They talked about the 50s.
Because we all love the 50s. It was just absolutely fantastic.
We invited them to come on to the show as guests, and they very politely declined.
I think they both did this. Oh, I don't think so.
They were not just a no. It was a firm no and also a never, I believe.
A no and a never. Okay. Well, I just thought that was so cute. I just had I've been smiling since we visited them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go a little bit about J.A. Mann.
Okay.
Mr. J.A. Mann was born in Harder Township near Flora, May 7th, 1856. So he's a little bit older. He's 5 years older than our friend.
Okay.
Did you get that?
I did. I got it.
His father united the occupations of shoemaker and farmer in those early days. Shoes and boots were not made in factories cheaply and quickly as they are now. The family lived upon the farm, and the children attended the district school until they were able to do effective work. We're going to go to school till you can work.
Yep.
Mr. Mann says that he was not overly fond of books, and at the age of 14, he quit school and began to work steadily. Tiring of the monotony of home life, at the age of 19, he went north to work and secured a place, guess where? A farm at $20. $20 a month, and that was his board too.
Oh.
So he made $20 a month, and that was his board. He remained away from home for 2 years. Like other boys, I saved but little money. He came home but did not remain long, as an opportunity occurred to secure good pay by going to Jersey County to work upon a farm there. So there's a little bit different, because he made money, but he said, I like other boys, I saved little money. So Mr. Mann, I have a feeling, we're like TJ Friend. He saved his.
He was pretty good with money. He had to be.
Man,
Mr. Mann was like, let's spend it.
Let's have a good day with it. The next year, he quit the farm and secured a job upon the railroad, where he remained one summer. He did not like the railroading, and he gave up his place and returned to Clay County. He was now 25 years of age. About that time, there was much interest in Kansas lands, and in 1884, he went to that state and entered a government homestead claim for 160 acres.
In 1884?
Yeah, so in 1884, he leaves Illinois, and he goes to Kansas, and the homestead claim, 160 acres. His land was located in the southern tier of the counties, the third one east of the Colorado line. He tried to farm his land, but found it impossible to make a success in that region on account of lack of moisture. So there we go.
Yeah.
After trying for 4 years, he sold out his claim and returned again to his old home.
Everybody comes back.
You know what? They do. They do. He now concluded to try business instead of farming, and in 1891, he bought out Friends Railroad Restaurant, then located at the Flora Station House.
And that had to be a good business. I mean, everybody was coming through Flora, getting on and off the train. Well, you got to eat. You're traveling.
Yeah.
You don't have a Ziploc bag in your pocket with a peanut butter and jelly in it.
No. So when you get
stop
up
and you eat.
And then it makes you wonder how many hobos they fed, like with scraps and stuff. But yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. But right now, they kind of follow the same line: farm, hard work. Railroad. Now we're both going. Now we're in the business.
Yep.
And Mr. Mann bought TJ Friends Restaurant, and we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Rural King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Rural King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about a couple of prominent men in Flora, and right now we're talking about James Mann, and I think we referred to him as J.A. Mann. I checked my notes that I had on my phone. It was actually J.H. Mann, James Henry.
James
Henry Mann. So we had that a little bit wrong, but yeah. So in 1884, you said that he went to Kansas. Yep. He was only there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But it made me think about Laura Ingalls Wilder because I'm a big Laura Ingalls fan, and I've read the true accounts of her. And when I say a fan, I do like the TV show, but I'm talking about her books and her true history, which I've studied. And they were in Kansas. You know, they spent a short amount of time in Kansas, and she was there in 1869. So she was there just about, is that, 15, 18 years, whatever, before him.
Yeah, because he was right on the Kansas-Colorado line. Where was she? I don't remember.
She was in what they called Indian Territory. Like, I don't know exactly where, but her pa had built, you know, their little log cabin just a few miles into the Indian Territory, not knowing. And back then, how would you be able to tell where the line was?
Because weren't they
didn't get to stay. They were forced to move on because they had built on the wrong side of a line and didn't realize it.
Because weren't they in Minnesota too? I mean,
they traveled.
They were everywhere.
She was
right?
a true pioneer. I mean, they went.
It's a fascinating.
I love
Laura Ingalls.
We could actually, even though she's not local, we could do a show on her because the real story about her is different than what a lot of people think because of the TV show. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead with your story.
Okay. So now we've got in 1891 he bought out Friend's Railroad Restaurant, which we just talked about Mr. Friend a minute ago, Thomas Jefferson. So now we've got the railroad. And it said this time his venture proved a success, and he continued there till the railroad company moved his building. I find that interesting.
They moved it.
The railroad company moved his building.
Wonder if that was when they were going to build a bigger depot.
They must
and
have
the
been.
restaurant was in the way. I bet. Maybe?
I bet it was.
Okay.
When he decided to locate in the business district of the city. So, like where the depot's out, wasn't considered city limits.
Right. It was kind of on the edge of town.
He rented Mr. Shriver's store, then standing on the south side of North Avenue, west of Main Street. So he rents out Mr. Shriver's store, which is on West North Avenue. That would be in the area where, like, My Fair Lady Hair Salon, the Advocate Press.
Yes.
That block is.
We're
going
to talk about Mr. Shriver and his house too on an episode I'm already working on.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. Here, his business prospered for nearly 2 years. Mr. Mann finally concluded that it would be better to own a building than to continue renting. Now you're thinking you want to own the property. So in the fall, he bought a building across the street from his, okay? And opened up the Palace Restaurant. Now, Ty, I'm going to hold this up. This building is still there. This building, as from the 70s and 80s growing up, it was where Hill's Jewelry Store was at.
Okay.
And then there was a little place called, for people that are still alive now, In the Attic was in this little building, that one. And then I think Tammy Steele had the greenhouse there at one time.
Yes.
And now the building is owned by
Paul Duquesne, I believe.
Paul Duquesne.
It's empty. It's empty, though. But.
And this was the Palace Restaurant. So when he bought it, I'm gonna hold this picture up and see if you can zoom in. Here is the Palace Restaurant. See it? And you can tell it's that building because of this right here. This structure right here is still there. That structure is still there. So it's right. Is it right next to the gym?
Yes, I believe
it is.
so.
Yeah. So that's where the Palace Restaurant is at. The thing about this is, so the restaurant was downstairs. Mr. Mann and his family lived upstairs.
Oh.
This was an apartment up here.
Okay.
So they lived upstairs. I think it's so cute too. Yeah, that was where the
that's a
Palace
cute
Restaurant. Now, thank you, Ty. Now, did the girls when we were with the twins yesterday? Did they mention the Palace Restaurant?
No,
I don't think
that
they
was
did.
before their
time. It may have been way before their time.
Yeah, I think that would have been before their time.
Okay. So, his business steadily increased. His restaurant is very popular with the common man and had really excellent food. Many of our business people get part of all their meals there.
Okay.
Mr. Mann buys at wholesale, and he keeps on hand in its season everything that can be desired by his customers. His place of business is a model of perfection, cleanliness, and comfort, and its popularity is steadily increasing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How great is that? Plus, it's just as cute as can be.
Yeah.
Mr. Mann favors and upholds the new movements to improve our city. In common with all of our citizens, he desires that the waterworks system shall be speedily erected, and he takes the stand that for real future benefits, the Little Wabash is the place to procure a supply of water.
So he disagrees with TJ Friend on that, because
He absolutely
this
does.
must have been at the time of this was all published. It must have been a really hot debate at the time about where Flora was going to get their water.
Right.
So Mann is saying the Little Wabash, which is obviously, for those familiar with Clay County, very close, runs right through our county. While Mr. Friend was saying, no, we should get it from the Little Raccoon
the Raccoon
River, which I think flows over closer to between here and Centralia, I think.
Yeah, that's true. So
I don't know.
I mean, I like both guys, but if I'm going to go, I'm going to have to go with Mann on this one.
Yeah.
Why would you? Yeah, the Raccoon.
Maybe they thought the water was cleaner from there.
Yeah, he is the earnest in the matter of city waterworks and favors going to Raccoon River for supply, and Mann is like, get it at the Big Muddy.
Maybe Raccoon River is the same as Coon Creek.
Ooh. We might need to ask that question.
I don't know.
I've never heard of Raccoon River till I just read it with this. So, but anyway, he wants to go to the Wabash, and like I said, if I'm going to have to go, I'm going to go with Mann on that. It's closer. But anyway, he thinks, however, that wells could be made to supply all the water needed, and at the same time, it would be much better for family use than river water brought a long distance in iron pipes. So, yeah, which I agree with that too. He had great confidence in the future of our city and has no desire to go elsewhere for home or business.
Well, good. He was happy here.
He was. We represent herewith a view of, that's a different thing.
Well, he had already traveled to Kansas and been all over, so maybe he was like, I'm not leaving again. Like, I get it. Things are good here. I got to a good business. My family is safe here. Like, we're just going to stay put.
And we have a picture of Mr. Mann.
We do. Let's see it.
Look at him.
Aw, what a good-looking guy.
I know.
Yeah.
So handsome.
Yeah, very handsome.
And Beth, where is Mr. Mann buried at?
He's buried in Elmwood.
He is buried in Elmwood.
Yes, and then we have another picture, too. I'm going to show you a picture of his daughter.
I love her little hair right there.
Yeah, this is Irma. And isn't she beautiful?
She is beautiful.
She married a Corey. She became a Corey. Her name was Irma Mann Corey. This would be Donna Corey from the Flora Public Library's grandmother. And she died at the age of 27.
Oh.
She died from basically childbirth. She gave birth to twin boys, and they gave her ether. Wow. So she kind of had pneumonia anyway, I think, went into labor, and I guess back then they gave you ether while you delivered. I don't know, but she died of what they call ether pneumonia, if I understood the story correctly.
My.
The twins survived.
They did.
Wow. Yes, and her husband raised the twins and the other child or children that they had at the time. I think maybe they just had one other boy. But Donna said that the county came in and tried to take the children and convince her grandpa that he was basically like, you're not, you're going to be a single dad. Like, you need to just give these children up into the system because you're a single dad. Like, that's, you're going to have your hands full. You might as well give them up into other homes. And he was like, no, absolutely not. Like, I can take care of these children.
Well,
I'm
kudos to
capable.
him.
And he did, and he raised them all, and they were successful adults and went on to have their own families. And
wonderful.
That bothers me that so many families back then were broken up just because of, like, they convincing a dad that he couldn't raise kids because he was a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he did fine. He's their dad. He can love them just
as much. Yeah, I mean, shoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Free and Mr. Mann.
They were two pretty
cool
guys.
Wonderful.
Yes.
They were absolutely spectacular men.
Good men. They
Very,
did a lot
very
for our
good.
town.
They did a lot for our town.
So we always end our shows with a rule to live by or a famous quote or something.
Yeah, we've
what do
been
you got
kind of
today?
mixing it up. This is my favorite a quote from Vivian Green. Have you ever heard about Vivian?
No, I don't know.
I don't know who that is, but I love it. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. I feel like that's, that might be something we've heard. We just didn't know who it was by.
Yes. Yeah, I totally believe that, because if you wait for the storm to pass, you're just going to wait your life away. There's always a storm. There's always something going on.
Something's always brewing somewhere.
Yeah, there's always something to stress out or worry over. So keep living.
I do like
Be
that
happy.
one, and plus I'm a rain dancer. I like dancing in the rain. I love it, love it, love it. I love a good rainstorm.
Oh, I love a good rainstorm. I love to sit out on the porch and watch the storm roll in.
Oh,
That's
me
what I
too.
like to do.
I don't think there's anything prettier or more fascinating than God's work in that.
No, I love that, but I can't help it that every time this is kind of where history can kind of, like, if you look into history and you study history and then suddenly you're like, I wish I didn't know that. There was two girls that were sitting on a porch either in Flora or in Clay County. I think it was in Flora. They were young. I want to say teenagers. And they were like sitting there probably watching a storm come in. Anyway, lightning came out of nowhere, struck them both, even though they were both on the porch. One of them died from being struck by lightning sitting on their porch. That happened here in town. I don't remember the year or anything. It was a story I looked up a long time ago for the cemetery tour that actually wasn't used because I couldn't find enough information on it. But, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So think about that, Stacey, the next time you're watching that storm.
The next time I'm dancing out in the rain.
Like,
yay!
Lightning can
remember in our deaths, lightning was a lot of our...
Yeah, that was my great-grandpa's sister died of the lightning strike. Florence.
Interesting.
At 17 years old, so...
Woo-wee.
It can happen.
Lightning, I can do the rain, I can do the wind, I can do the thunder. Lightning does freak me a little bit.
Lightning is scary.
Lightning freaks me. It's a little scary because it's unpredictable. Nothing else bothers me as much as that silly lightning.
Yeah, I don't know. Wind is pretty scary, too.
Yeah, but boy, I like to hear it coming.
Yeah.
It's okay. It doesn't bother me so much as long as it's not going in a circle.
Right. That's when it bothers me. Like, at what point do I make a run for it? Because I don't want to get blown away.
Oh, well, we're wrapping up another fantastic episode. I'm not even sure what episode we're on now.
30-something.
30-something.
Let's have a party for our 50th.
Ty, we need a party for our 50th.
Yes.
You got it. Well, what a glorious day.
Yes.
So we are going to bid adieu to this, and we hope you enjoyed our episode of Mr. Mann and Mr. Friend.
Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys next time.
God bless you. Have a good day.